Friday, the Memphis Tigers go for the 3-0 start when they face Ohio at home. Memphis with W's over Mizzou and UNLV to begin the season. Ohio 1-2 this year, but the Bobcats picked to win the MAC. Penny Hardaway taking the cautious approach, though, with his squad to start the early part of the year.
Any team is capable of beating you. We'll never disrespect any team, no matter who we're playing. I think that I'm the happiest because this game is going to make us think, communicate a lot, and really have to be locked in the entire game because their movement will make you look bad if you're not communicating, and that's something that we need to do better. So with their execution of their offense and how they like to do it, with the bigs, they can really shoot the basketball. It's going to be a tough game for us if we're not communicating properly.
Rachel, what do you want to see out of the Memphis Tigers going into Ohio, going into FedExForum against them?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot that I want to see. They've been in 2 really close games. This is probably fair to say their easiest game they've had out of their opening slate of games. So I want to see some dominance from the Tigers in this one and really make a statement. Obviously, we know they're dealing with some injuries right now. And so I'm intrigued to see how that kind of plays out. We know PJ Haggerty is injured, as well as Tyrese Hunter also injured. They haven't practiced at all this week. So that's kind of concerning. Penny Hardaway said yesterday they are going to play. That's the expectation right now. Nicholas Jourdain has also got a bit of a hip injury. He's been in and out of practice. So I'm intrigued to see how the 3 of them play, how many minutes they get, and then how some other guys step up. And I think that is really the biggest thing I want to see come Friday night is who is going to step up and go with PJ Haggerty, not only in Friday's game, but for the rest of the season. PJ has had 25 and 27 points this season so far. Sorry, 25 and 29. I looked at the stats on all the other players that are on this team. No other player other than Colby Rogers has scored more than 26 combined points between the 2 games. And obviously it's a very, very small sample size, right?
Yeah, just
it's
2
games. There's a lot of season left to play. But I think for Memphis to be dominant throughout the entire stretch of the season, we need to see another guy going and scoring 20 with PJ on most nights. Whether it be Colby or whether it be Nick or whether it be Dane, whoever it is, Musa, there's so many guys that it could be, but I want to see that number increase from a couple other guys. It's good to have some guys in double digits, whatever, but someone else needs to be able to go with PJ, and so far we haven't seen that yet.
And the reason they've had to do that so much is that they've started really slow. So I think for me, in my analysis of these games, I really want to see, can the Tigers have a really solid first half so that they're not playing catch up and playing from behind the entirety of the second half. In first halves this year, they shot 32% against UNLV. They shot 34% in the first half against Mizzou. So you're shooting 33% in your first 2 games in the first half. It's going to put you behind in a lot of games. And granted, for the UNLV game, it was only 4 or 5 points, right? UNLV was not shooting well at all. But Memphis was able to pull away in that second game because of their ability to eventually pull away, shooting 70% in the second half. So to your point, they kind of had to lean on PJ Haggerty the entirety of a second half because he's been playing so well. Somebody has to go with him. And personally, I think it's got to be Tyrese Hunter. I think he's got to be able to create for other players way more than what he's been doing so far. He's done a good job leading the offense, but I think what Penny Hardaway would like to see him do is lead that offense a little bit more so that they're not having to lean on PJ all the way down through the entirety of a second half.
You mean you want to see him set up players more?
Yeah,
or do you want to see him create his own shots
certainly
more?
So. A little bit of both. A little bit of both, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, he can definitely do it. Well, we're talking about Memphis needs some players to step up.
Sure.
Ohio are kind of the opposite. They have 5 guys who are averaging double digits. They've got 3 guys who are averaging 13 points a game. They run a Princeton offense, which sometimes can get away from teams because it's so fast-paced and they're going to shoot probably double the threes that Memphis have seen this season. That's what Ohio does. And so when you hear Penny say, we've got to communicate, or he's saying we got to communicate or this game's going to get away from us. And this will be a really good test. I mean, Penny said in that soundbite he's excited because of that. This is a type of game where he wants to see everything that he's taught his guys kind of come to fruition in this game for 2 halves, something we haven't seen yet this season. And I think part of that as well is what is going to be Dane and Musa's role, Musa Cisse's role, Dane Danger and Musa Cisse's role this game, because Ohio's bigs pop out and they shoot threes. And Dane and Musa aren't the quickest guys. They're very good under the rim, extremely good. Penny says that they could be the best front court in college basketball. But seeing what they do, I honestly think you say Tyrese needs to step up. I agree. Tyrese definitely has the most potential. I would say even more so than PJ to go and drop 40 on somebody. But I really want to see Dane step up. Let's see what he looks like in the post. I know Penny wants them to pass out of the post more, but I feel like we're going to have some mismatch in this Ohio game that Dane can really take advantage of. And also, I said it in the last episode with you, Avery, what Penny wants to see is dominance from Dane and Musa, so they have to double. And when they put them in, they want to give teams 0 options except 2 double, and they're going to have to pass out. And against this team that is 325th in scoring defense, Ohio is, you should be able to put 90 on this team at least. So that's what I want to see. I agree. I want to see more players. I don't care as much if PJ can go out there and put up 30 and then the 2 other guys get 15. I think that's fine, but I want to see them hang 90 on this team at the Forum, get the city hyped up about them because that's what we need and that's what this team has the potential to do, but I want to see it.
To your point about the front court, specifically in Musa and Dane Danger, this should be a game where they dominate on the boards. They've been +7 and +6 so far in rebound margin. In their first 2 games, Ohio has had 2 games where they've only been able to rebound, or they've only had 23 rebounds total. So I would imagine this is a game because, to your point, their bigs tend to step out from 3. This should be a game where the Tigers' front court is able to dominate on the boards. One note we've kind of talked about is something that's come up this week is whether or not Penny could potentially add somebody. He had some interesting comments about what his team could look like moving forward. With the departure of Tyreek Smith, there's just 9 scholarship players on the roster right now. Here's what Penny had to say about potentially getting some help in the near future.
Yeah, I tried to see if LeBron had any years left, and but no, there might be some things in the making. Obviously, we don't know until people actually get in the portal and things of that nature. We're just kind of looking and waiting, and we're not closing the door on that. We're just keeping the door open.
So to that point, LeBron had a triple-double last night, so I think he's happy with where he is with the Lakers. However, the Penny Hardaway and the Tigers could certainly use a little bit of help if they can get some. They certainly pulled Daquan Tomlin out of the rabbit hat last year, who ended up being incredible for them. Caleb, to your point, do you think we see somebody come in here in the midpoint point of the season?
I like rabbit hat.
Rabbit out of the hat? You like that?
Rabbit hat, yeah.
He's
I
a
like
magician
that.
now.
Because that is what Naquan was.
Really was the
that's
rabbit
going
out
to
of
be essentially impossible to recreate. But Naquan, before he got to Memphis, was a very passionate guy. He thrived off of that. But Penny, when you pair him with Penny, he kind of tapped into that next level of energy. So whoever Penny brings in, I think that he's an expert enough in that area where he can get them to buy in. We were talking about it. We saw some people say that they need to add a guard. I think that they're okay when you look at Jared Harris can play either the 1 or the 2. He's very versatile. They've had him even play down on the 3 as well. And then you have PJ as well. PJ, help me.
Haggerty.
Not Haggerty. No.
PJ Carter.
PJ Carter. Yeah, sorry. Just completely lost
many
it there.
PJs.
Yeah,
PJs,
he can
a lot
also
of
fill
PJs.
in there. And then Baraka Kojay, not really an offensive guy, but a really strong defensive guy. I think they're okay in that area. We are already seeing Nick Jourdain deal with injuries. The way he plays, very intense.
Yeah.
We could see more of that. So, yeah, I think that they need to go out and get a forward. And the way this offense is rolling, Penny is wanting, from what I've seen so far, Penny is wanting those guys. He wants Dane to average somewhere between 15 and 18 a game, or who knows, maybe that ends up being Musa. And I think that you may need to go somewhere else to get that and let Dane play his more normal position at center where he's going to start games, right? But when Jourdain comes out and Dane is still in there, then he's been playing power forward. So I think they need to go out there and get a 4, maybe even a 3, but a stretch 4 would be really great to replace Tyreek Smith, because Tyreek Smith had a role on this team. It was pretty clear in that North Carolina game, and based off of what they've said afterwards, he was going to be a very important piece in this team. So yeah, but we have to wait until players start to go into the transfer portal, and from what I've seen so far, and I've been following it a little bit, trying to see if players are unhappy, I haven't seen any of that yet. So you kind of have to benefit off of someone else's bad situation. That's the terrible part of it.
Well, one man's trash is another man's treasure, and Penny Hardaway has done a pretty good job of that here the last couple of years, picking some guys out of the portal, and we talk about Naquan Tomlin in particular.